And here we go. Welcome, everybody. Glad you're here. Glad you're joining us from the live stream audience. Welcome to you. I'm going to invite those of you who are able to stand, and we'll take it off with some music.
I'm not worried about tomorrow. Today I declare freedom from yesterday, mistakes of the past. Today all things are made brand new, and don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should. All is well, all is well, all is well. Even Spirit is directing me right now. All is well, all is well, all is well, and unfolding as it should. I can change my reality by changing my mind. Perfect peace, joy, and happiness is yours, and it's mine. I am love, and so are you. And don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should? Let's sing it out. All is well, all is well. Even Spirit is directing me right now. All is well, all is well, all is well, and unfolding as it should. All is well, all is well, all is well. Even Spirit is directing me right now. All is well, all is well, all is well, and unfolding as it should. All is well and unfolding as it should. Well, good morning, all you beautiful faces. Take a minute to greet some of those neighbors out there.
I turned it down. It'll probably be better when I'm away from it too, just a little.
Just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
We're rocking it out this morning. I don't know what's happening. I don't know.
Oh, what's that?
It's a very loud situation happening. Probably the StreamYard folks. Sorry, those of you online. I'm sure. Yeah, maybe.
Take the hat off.
Well, we want to invite, we'll invite any kiddos who are here with us today. Do we have any kids who want to join in on our kids program? It's a beautiful, sunny, frosty morning out there. Looks like you brought your puffy coats. We're going to sing these kiddos out into their classroom this morning. Sing Hooray for the World, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and animals too, and a sun that shines on me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. We got Mother Nature and the human race.
Here we go. Thank you and good morning. I'm Kit Zinn, your practitioner for the day, along with Cindy Clay and a number of others you may have seen this morning as well. If anyone still has their phone turned on, you might like to turn it down or turn it off. We appreciate that, so please join me in welcoming each and every one of us to this place and moment. So knowing that there is truly only one, that magical creative energy that has created this entire universe is everywhere present. And I am one with that creative source, with that energy, with that life, the love, the compassion, all of the wonderful names that we ascribe to it. It is all that and more. Recognizing this morning that I've come with an open heart and an open mind to be inspired. In Dr. Andrea's talk this morning, the different steps of courage, as a reminder that that too has its heart and its roots within the heart and stepping forward. For love is that answer. I trust and know that this is so much a part of who I am and more. So I release these words knowing that all is good in this moment, every unfolding moment. And I look forward to seeing those new discoveries. So together we do reaffirm, and so it is.
So it is. Let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Let's sing that together. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my my center, from the center of me. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. My heart is open. My heart is open. I am awake. There is a knowing of love, love, love. My heart is open. I am awake. There is a knowing of love, love, love. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. My heart is open. I am awake. There is a knowing of love, love, love. My heart is open. I am awake. There is a knowing of love, love. My heart is open. My heart is open. I am awake. There is a knowing of love, love, love. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. I surrender. I trust and I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know as I surrender. I trust and I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. 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 I fall into the arms of love.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful thing to see so many talented, gifted musicians here today. Thank you. Well, as I mentioned, this talk is a little bit of a surprise because I was over in Port Townsend with Joe having the time of my life when we found out that there had been a COVID exposure for Reverend Zina. So her topic today was the 4 pathways of courage, which I have no idea what she was going to say. And I'm not even sure I know what I'm going to say, but we came over on the 6:30 ferry today, and I tried to think. Got coffee at Coopville. It was good. So I thought maybe what would be important to start with is the definition of courage, because we've been talking about courage in uncertain times all month. And certainly we're in that time. And so courage, in our culture has come to mean being a hero. And we need heroes. But actually, courage in the old form, in the Latin form, meant something different. So the root of courage is cur, which is a Latin word that stands for heart. And so courage in that time was to speak one's mind by telling all of one's heart. And so I thought we'd start there because for me, the 4 pathways of courage have to do with something that a recent class that Kalish and I taught was teaching. And it was centered on a very, very simple practice that I'm going to use to illustrate the 4 pathways of courage that I'm thinking of. The first of the 5 to 15 second practice is attention. And in recent years, attention has been described as mindfulness, which is great. It's a great word, a little overused right now, but really good. And it has to do with deep looking. And so as one of the pathways of courage, we can deeply look at our path, not just our spiritual path, but every way we express ourselves. And especially when we tie that deep looking to the willingness to change, it becomes revelatory. It becomes something that shows us things that maybe we've been rolling along, doing our life, doing the habits that we all do, and not really paying attention. And I certainly have fallen into that category a lot recently as well. And so paying attention, hooked to the courage to change, begins the process of using our heart to tell the world what's on our mind and what's on our heart. And so I was. Many of you know that last week I wasn't here because I was at a meditation retreat, and I had offered to be the Zen cook for this Buddhist meditation retreat. And I laugh because Zen cooks are like the highest order. And I don't fall into that category. I just know how to cook for a crowd. So, but while I was there, I also got to listen to the Dharma talks. And during one of the Dharma talks, there was a quote from Angeles Arrien, and I don't know if you remember Angeles Arrien, but she was a great anthropologist and student of shamanic traditions around the world and taught for years and years and years. And she wrote many books, and the Dharma teacher was quoting her, and this is what the quote was. In many, and I'm hoping maybe this will help you look into your path, into your life, because it made me do mine. In many shamanic societies, if you came to a medicine person complaining of being disheartened, dispirited, or depressed, they would ask one of 4 questions. When did you stop dancing? When did you stop singing? When did you stop being enchanted by stories? And when did you stop being comforted by the sweet territory of silence? Hence the costume and the hat, because I realized I had stopped playing. And I don't know when that happened, and I don't even know why. But I know that when that Dharma teacher gave me that quote, which I've heard before, I was like, oh, begins with S, ends with T. Oh, darn. And so it was great. It was a great moment of attention, deep attention to how I've been and how I've let the world affect me and what I've been unconsciously shutting down to deal with, right? I mean, this is not an easy time in the world. Would you agree? It's really hard. And every story I seem to hear makes it harder. And so one would think, well, play, singing, dancing, inhabiting the sweet territory of silence, how would these make a difference? And they make a huge difference. Huge difference. And when I began to shine the light with deep attention on how I've been, I could then kind of go, okay, all right, I see it. Now what do I do? And you wouldn't believe what you do next. This is the next pathway of courage. You wait. It's not what we're really accustomed to doing. I don't know about you, but my experience of our culture and even my own energetic is to then just, right? Go, push, let's do it, you know? And yet, all of the teachings that I've received from the Science Mind and my Buddhist meditation practice have to do with waiting. In fact, my teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, used to tell a story about his little niece, who's now my age. But at the time, she would visit, she called him Uncle Monk. Uncle Monk, and she was about 6 years old, and she would be brought by her parents to the monastery, and she would have a blast, you know, just playing in this incredible environment of peace and love and all that jazz. And she had 2 little friends that she would play with, and they would play and play and play as 6-year-olds can do. And then she would come to the door, knock, 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 Uncle Monk, we're thirsty. And so Thich Nhat Hanh would very peacefully go to the door and open the door and invite them in. And that day he happened to have some fresh pressed apple juice. And so he got 3 cups out, and he poured the first cup, second cup, and third cup. Well, the third cup had all the apple stuff in it. So he handed her 2 little friends the first 2 glasses, and they drank it all down. And his little niece said, Uncle Monk, this is gross. What's in that? It doesn't look like their glasses. And he said, oh, it's apple juice, just like theirs. She said, I'm not going to drink that. And she went away. Well, she was still thirsty, right? So they went out and they played for a while, and then knock, 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 Uncle Monk, I'm so thirsty. And he said, well, your apple juice is still here. Why don't you have that? And she came in, and all of that sediment from the apples had settled to the bottom. And it looked perfectly clear, like apple juice. So she drank it all down. And he said, it was the same glass, niece. Just everything had settled. And she sort of went, and went on. But you and I can do something different with that story. And sometimes the path of courage asks us to really wait with the awareness that we've gained, to really work with it and think about it and allow it to teach us and to sort of discern what the way forward might be, instead of just pushing ahead and saying, well, it's got to be this way. When I wrote about this weight thing, I've been in a class where the man who's teaching the class starts the class by saying, now remember, the universe is a pull system, not a push system. And so for a while I was like, I wonder what he means by that. I mean, I sort of know what he means, but he never actually said. But as I've thought about this path of courage that's about patience and waiting and allowing things to settle a bit, I realized that part of waiting is listening deeply to what might be pulling us forward, instead of pushing with our will, being pulled forward by a path that becomes obvious. The great speaker and teacher Michael Beckwith used to say, he probably still does say, you can either be pushed by pain or pulled by a vision. And so I think that's what my teacher means when he says the universe is a pull system. Allowing ourselves to be pulled forward is so much less effortful, but it takes the courage to wait for that pull, to know how to proceed. And then, once we've gotten clear about that, there's something in the science of mind teaching and in teachings in general called the law of circulation. And so would you do me the favor of taking a deep breath and holding it? And just keep holding it. Keep holding it. And now let it out. It requires both things to circulate all the energy of the body. All the systems require both the inhale of oxygen and the exhale of carbon dioxide, so that we have this exchange going on. And like the body, when we take a path of courage, often what then needs to happen is we have to let go. And that's hard for us. Well, I don't know, I can't speak for you. Maybe it's easy peasy for you. But for me, often I don't like the changes that have to happen. Even when I've done the work of paying attention, seeing what's needed, waiting to be clear, being pulled forward, I still don't necessarily like what has to happen. And so the exhale is the part where we allow ourselves to let go of our own expectations, our own way of doing things, everything. And as we do that, what begins to happen is a wider ability to see can come in. When I let go, for example, of my own thinking of how things should be and how I should go forward, and I just sort of open after letting go, I expand my ability to kind of allow new information to come in. Because I can only speak for myself, but maybe this is true for you as well, that oftentimes I get caught by my own perception of reality. I expect things to go a certain way, and I expect people to be a certain way, and you may have noticed things and people don't always conform. At least in my life, a lot of times people do things and I'm like, what? And things go and I'm like, what? 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 And that's the moment of letting go and letting something else show up. And as we do that, precious, as we do that, we free ourselves for a moment anyway of the preconceived ideas of how it should be or how it shouldn't be or all that stuff, so that a wider view can come forward. And so for me, letting go, releasing and opening is also a path of courage. It allows us to encounter reality with fresh eyes and to step, at least for a time, out of habitual ways long enough to have the pull of the vision or the pull of knowing the next right step, to have the room to actually show up and make itself known. Now, when we do that, we expand. And that, of course, is the point of the spiritual path on one level, right? And so through all these years, as I've noticed my own resistance to change and noticed my own resistance to letting go and noticed my own resistance to waiting and noticed that I sometimes don't pay deep attention, all of that, where I've put all that is I've said to myself, well, you're on a spiritual path. Everything can become a teaching. Everything. And in that way, I move myself from what in our class we called safety consciousness. Safety consciousness is like, protection. It's the level of fight, flight, or freeze. It's the level where, things are happening and we're kind of tense about it, and so we react from our habitual ways. That's safety consciousness. And then we move to heart consciousness, courage, right? The kur, the heart. And as we are in heart consciousness, we begin to open. But it's still, it's still mediated by that other part that's like, this doesn't feel super safe to just open our heart to whatever. But so we consciously and deliberately lift our gaze, lift our way into a place of, well, maybe spirit's in the mix here. Maybe this is something for me, not against me. Maybe this is part of my spiritual path. And I do this a lot. I frame a lot of things that I immediately don't like in terms of, all right, well, maybe this is spirit operating. I had a situation, you're going to think this is so silly, but, I work in the land of metaphor a lot. And so I got into my electric car, and it's the only car I've ever owned that has a backup camera. And so I put it in reverse, no backup camera. There's lines, but there's no picture, so the lines are irrelevant, right? And I'm like shifting back into park and shifting back into reverse, no picture. So I back up the old-fashioned way, right? Looking in the mirrors and stuff like that. But then I'm driving down the road and I'm like, I wonder if that's a message from spirit. I know it sounds stupid. It's a metaphor, though, for me. Look forward, don't look back. Could be. Was meaningful to me at the time. I was like, okay, all right, sure. Can I have my camera back? Well, great. So Joe fixed it. So from heart, though, that's not the stopping place for you and for me in terms of the levels of consciousness that are possible for us. And I think many of us listening today have an interest in going even farther than moving from safety consciousness into the heart, where we can bring some trust and some faith into action. Where we really would like to go is what's called spacious consciousness. The consciousness where there is no separation, where there is only one. The place that Rumi always spoke about. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right-doing, there's a field. I'll meet you there. Well, I don't know about you, but I really like that field. I like it a lot, and I love lying down in that grass and not having any separation, having the full experience of oneness with everything. It's rare, I'll admit that, but for me, it's part of the point of spiritual practice, of walking a spiritual path. Otherwise, why not just make money and buy things? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but for me, it's something more. How about you? And that's the point, I think, for me, is if I'm walking a spiritual path, then the things I encounter, even the hard things, as I pay attention, I begin to receive guidance. And then I wait to try to allow that guidance to fully settle so that I'm a clear glass of apple juice. And then once I've done that, I begin to exhale, open, release, let go of preceding ideas, open to what could be possible, why this is happening, not why like this is wrong, but just open. And then what begins to happen is I can move from feeling threatened to living from the heart, and then opening even further to no wrongdoing, no right doing, oneness. And I have had the experience, I'm so blessed to have had the experience of being in that space every once in a while. And maybe you have too. And it transforms everything when we go to that place. Judgment drops away of self and others. We come into a field of awareness where we realize that this is such a precious gift. This life, this place, these people, everything becomes incredibly illumined. And so it's worthy of our efforts to walk these paths of courage, to open with the heart and to speak our mind from our heart. Not easy, but certainly a worthy endeavor. So I'll do a prayer for that, and we will move into our day after announcements. So, know with me as I know, there is indeed one spirit, one love, one intelligence operating through all that is, always has, always will. It doesn't just operate in some sort of abstract field of endeavor, but rather within each of us, through each of us, as each of us. So I know that everyone is guided in intelligence and love, and that as we walk the paths of courage, we know when to deeply pay attention, to ask the deep questions. When did I stop singing? When did I stop dancing? And to open to the pull of our own vision forward. As we open, everything is provided to move with clarity and grace into the law of circulation, letting go what must be let go so that something new can arise and move us forward. And along the way, as fear arises, we move that fear with our hearts into the space of understanding that Spirit is here, working and operating through this very situation. And then we open further to the field of awareness that knows only its own crystalline, pure self through us and all that is. For you and for me, I know that this is where we are, and all things are possible. So I call upon the intelligence operating through me and you for guidance whenever situations arise that need it. I call upon the love that is resident within me and you to move with clarity and grace, to allow Spirit, the house room it needs, to pull us forward. And I'm grateful So grateful to know that this is actually the operating system for all sacred humans. And it is operating in me and you right now. If you believe that, simply add your voice to mine in saying, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Well, our ushers are preparing for the offertory, and our musicians are coming on up. We're going to have some musical fun while we invite you, if you would so choose, to donate to the center. You may have noticed these beautiful things in the seat backs. This note says, please mention the QR code for donation in the seat backs, because that's a new thing. And so I encourage you to donate in whatever way would be helpful. We thank you for that. Live stream audience, you'll see a donate button there. Thank you ahead of time if you can give a gift. Every single dollar matters to an organization of this size. So thanks ahead of time. All right, you guys, let's hear from you.
Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Let's sing that together. Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I found. The sky is calling, gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Leave behind what's weighing me down, leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I found. The sky is calling, gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time, 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 one step at a time.
Yeah. So just a couple of announcements for you today. Let's see what we've got on the. There we go. We're having a invitation extended to any of you who would like to come to a visioning session, which is a particular spiritual practice, tomorrow night from 6 to 7:30. And what's being visioned is Cindy Clay and Leo Brody, who's on keyboards, have brought to our center a wonderful thing called Spirit Works. And Spirit Works is an opportunity for entrepreneurs and people who are entrepreneurial to come together for a breakfast once a month and share ideas and hear inspiring talks and support one another in what they're bringing forward. And so tomorrow night is an opportunity to help them vision what that will unfold as. And if you have any questions about it, Andrea Wood and Cindy Clay are going to be leading the visioning, and they can answer any questions you might have. So feel free to talk to them, and feel free to join us. We do have sign-up sheets for a lot of things I'm announcing in our classroom where the coffee is right after this, and you can sign up and come on over tomorrow night starting at 6. Next, what we have is Kat Wingerger. They are one of the teen advisors for our teen group. And our teen group just finally organized about a year ago and has been meeting ever since, and they've gotten to go to camps. And I used to be a teen advisor for 25 years as well. And I got to tell you that the camps are this incredible place where teenagers, you remember being a teenager? They're surrounded with love and acceptance for just who they are. And it's an incredible opportunity for our teens to go. And so Kat and her team of teens and her other advisor have come up with a wonderful way to raise money to get these teens to camp. And it's called the Cookie Mix in a Jar fundraiser. And so we're inviting you to meet with Kat. Kat, do you want to stand up? There's those signups, and to purchase maybe 1 or 5 jars and use them maybe for yourself or for holiday gift giving. Thanksgiving's coming up, Christmas, Hanukkah, you name it, and help our teens get to camp. So that's happening, and you can see Kat for that. You'll be in the classroom? Great. Look for the ball cap. It says Camp Cedar Ridge, which is where they're going. And then next, what we have is this. Now, this is such an incredible thing we do every year, and I want to thank Heidi, Ruth, Wendy, and Patty for being the chair people this year. Every year, for many years now, we've been celebrating the Day of the Dead. And the reason we do that is we've lost people. We've lost pets. We've lost loved ones. And we wanted a place in our community where we could share who they are, because even though their physical body is not here, they're still here, right? And so we wanted a place where we could bring together everyone to celebrate our beloveds. And so this coming week, on Thursday, the 2nd of November, which is All Souls Day, the Threshold Singers, who are a group of incredible people who go to the bedside of people who are passing and sing them into the next expression, they'll be here singing to us. We will have the opportunity to say the names of those that we've lost and hear those names held in a circle. We'll have a fire, and we'll have an opportunity to share with one another. So this incredible opportunity starts at 6 and goes to about 8, more or less. And it's open to anyone, even if you're one of the few that hasn't lost anybody yet. And if you forgot, like I did, to bring a picture, you can bring it on the 2nd, or during the week, during office hours, we'll take what you bring, and we'll make sure that it makes it to these altars of ours. But you're warmly invited. Children also are invited. Some of the most touching things over the last couple of years have been grandchildren who come and say the name of their grandparent into the circle and say why they love their grandma or their grandpa so much. It's very touching. We'd love you to come. So that's that. And then we have this really interesting thing happening on Saturday at 10. It's two of our members, Tresiah and Tom, have had the experience of this sacred Vedic fire ceremony. And Tresiah recorded it and has permission to share it, and then to have a virtual experience of the ceremony and the releasing that means. And so they're going to be, I think, are they in the classroom? Yes. And so they'll be in the classroom Saturday. You can sign up ahead of time if you'd like at the Ask Me desk in the classroom and come on Saturday to really experience a very unique and deep ceremony. So that's happening as well. And that's it for today. Sarah, I forgot, but this is Sarah, and she's going to tell you a little bit about this incredible program that we've been fortunate enough to help birth. She did all the legwork, though. And here's Adrian, too.
Thank you. Yes, so my name's Sarah Eroldi. I'm the Whatcom Program Manager for Roots of Empathy, and this is Adrian Doucette, who, you know when you go in the world, help, and then help arrives. So let's give help arrives a hand. Thank you very much, Adrian. And the help arriving of all of you. So people who haven't heard of Roots of Empathy, it's a program about...
The work that you do is world-changing.
Hit the space bar.
One of the great things about...
You're going to see that in a second. Now you get the image of there's a tiny teacher, a little baby, 2 to 4 months old, that comes into grade school classroom, the same family, the same classroom throughout the school year to teach empathy to kids in our community. It started 26 years ago in Toronto, and we got funding last year in Whatcom County. And we just are in the moment where, you know how Dr. Andrea just said, like, every story you hear, it makes it harder? Well, this is the opposite. This is the story you hear it's the giant thank you story. We did it in Whatcom County this year. Last year we were in 12 classrooms. This year, and raise your hand if you've heard of this and you've helped and you've talked to at least one person or put positive energy in the world about Roots of Empathy. This is the participation in this community, including instructors, including providing the space at Center for Spiritual Living for training the instructors. We have instructors, plus a classroom teacher, plus a family with a baby. And last year we were in 12 classrooms. This year we're in 26. So in 14 schools around Whatcom County and 4 school districts. So speaking of expansion and envisioning the world we want to create and then doing that. So if you take 26 classrooms times 25 kids per classroom, that's more than 600 kids in Whatcom County, grade school kids, who are going to be able to experience empathy through a baby as a tiny teacher in their world. And this is happening around the world. It's in 12 countries, 7 different languages, and I just wanted to show a little video on the world that you're helping to create. So thank you very much.
The work that you do is world-changing. One of the great things about Roots of Empathy is that it's an experience-based program.
And I began to see something extraordinary in a classroom. A group of kids who cared, who were concerned, who loved that baby.
But what I love most of all is that although it's a universal program, it has the biggest impact on the children who need it the most. And I saw this time and time again.
Is that Northern Ireland, as you will know, has a long history of civil conflict. The idea of empathy and the exploration in this program of how empathy is something that we all need, and children in particular are so receptive.
One of the elders on the break came up to me and said, "This is the first time that I've been in a school since residential school. This program is very much the way that we as a community raise and teach our young people."
I start to feel softer, happier, calm, and just joyful. I look around our classroom and everyone is happy. It's like Roots of Empathy just changed us. All our anger and all our stress, it goes away.
As Mary Gordon says, one child at a time. But if we can help that one child, and that one child becomes an ethical and compassionate leader who leads with empathy, what a difference that child can make.
I think I want to live in that world. one where people are kind and empathetic, where their well-being is important. That's the kind of world I want to live in.
The work that you do is world-changing.
Thank you all.
One of the great things about Roots of Empathy is that it's an experience-based program.
We're on to the wow.
And I began to
powerful.
see
My,
something extraordinary in a
daughter got to be in
classroom.
one of the
A group of
classrooms
kids who
last year
cared,
with Roots
who
of
were
Empathy, and
concerned, who
she brought
loved
home
that
at the end of
baby.
school year a picture of the baby and put it on the fridge and was just like in love with this child that she saw grow up in the year. So, all right. Well, let's sing out into this glorious day together, shall we? Blessed day, I am thankful, grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. Soulful praise to the wonder, freedom, sing a joyful song. Calling love to the center, lifting all is one. I'll sing it now, so it is anything I dream. It is singing now, so it is. Think bigger now, so it is. I'm holding this vision of peace, knowing a world of harmony. Calling love to the center, lifting all. We are free. Blessed day, I am thankful, grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. Soulful praise to the wonder, freedom, sing a joyful song. Calling love to the center, lifting all is a one. I'm singing now, so it is anything I dream. It is singing now, so it is. Think bigger now, so it is. I'm holding this vision of peace, knowing a world of harmony. Calling love to the center, lifting all. We are free. Calling love to the center, lifting all. We are free. So lovely to see you all today. We'll see you again soon. Have a good one.